is great restaurant service? How do you define it? You know when you get it, and you know when you don't. But how do restaurants deliver great service? To find out, we're going to the top of Toronto, 54 stories up.
The soup today, guys, is caramelized onion soup.
Canoe is one of the finest restaurants in the country. They're known for creative Canadian cuisine, amazing dining room views, and a service style that goes above and beyond.
Today we're actually fully booked at 12:15 except for in the bar area.
In an hour, the lunch rush will begin, and all over the restaurant, the Canoe Service team is busy with finishing touches.
This is what we call the chef's reel.
Okay.
Laura Collier is a former restaurant hostess. She's been selected to train for a coveted server's position.
Design cutlery for easy access for taking the skin off some of our fish dishes.
For the past week, it's been Kevin Detto's job to train Laura to meet Canoe's first-class service standards.
Do you have seat numbers here?
We have a system here so that everyone's on the same page. So when you
Laura has just one day of training left before she hits the floor. If all goes well, she could be asked to join the Canoe Service team. There's still a lot to learn because here, the little things are a big deal.
So we're going to line up the tables with and the best way to do it is using a string right across the restaurant.
Okay.
So you need a couple people on the ends.
That's a lot to know. It's a hard industry, and a lot of people don't realize that the details that go into, creating a good experience for your guests.
Bread knife, bread plate, and knife and fork.
Okay.
It's really easy.
This is Canoe's top secret training manual. It's loaded with trade secrets that the competition would love to get their hands on. But Canoe is smart enough to know that it's just words on paper, that what happens here in this dining room is what really matters.
Good morning, Michael.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you.
How are things?
Good, good.
Good to see you.
Owner Michael Bonaccini passionately believes in service as the core value of his business.
The details are the thing that really count, and I'm sure from a
To succeed, he only hires staff that understand the meaning of memorable service.
I hope so.
service to us is absolutely vital. It's as important as great ingredients coming in the back door. It's as important as a fantastic crew in the kitchen. It is an essential ingredient. I think we have to find the right person, a team member that really has that desire and passion to be successful at what they do.
Can I get hands here, please?
We got cold salads coming up here with hot items.
The day before Laura is scheduled to debut on the floor, she wades into the kitchen during the lunch rush to observe the delicate dance between the front and the back of the house.
They obviously get the hot stuff out first.
Kevin is one of Canoe's top trainers and knows the service system inside and out.
And now this has a modification on it, so there's no scallops. Let's grab a bill.
His job is to help Laura master it without getting overwhelmed.
Okay, you got to climb up.
This is the pass. This is where the kitchen and dining room overlap. It's a very busy place, and it's often where service problems first pop up. As a result, there's a very specific style of communication in play here, known as expediting.
Sassy, I'm sitting on soups, huh? Chit.
If your dinner arrives cold, it's the server's fault. If it's late, it's the kitchen's fault. Either way, the buck stops with executive chef Anthony Walsh.
We're getting light, we're getting too light on this.
Because today, he's the expediter.
We have to have very, very set rules, to make this machine, this restaurant work. And I'm almost the buffer that's that telephone line between the back and the front. You got a main course, tuna?
Laura's relationship with Chef Walsh will be key to her success. Consider the challenge. Several hundred diners dining at their own pace, each receiving 3 or more courses.
Behind, pasta, 3 pasta. Let's go.
Kevin explains how it all works.
So typically, you'll get an order from a table, and we take the appetizer order and the main course. That way, the kitchen knows anything that they have to prep up for the main course. They'll start getting that ready while the people are enjoying their appetizer. The bill will go to the certain stations. This is the cold station. They've got a lot of salads going out, a lot of hot dishes, and a lot of bills ready to be picked up that are hanging on the line. So it's very important to have an expediter that's very organized to be able to get those plates, get the table together, look at the food, make sure everything is plated properly. The kitchen will sell the bill to you, and then you check it off and you look, and out goes the food.
Pick it up.
The lunch rush has really opened Laura's eyes to how high the service bar is set. There's more training to come, and today, Laura will learn about Canoe's secret service. Laura Collier is in her final day of training to join the legendary service team at Canoe, one of Canada's top restaurants.
The training program here is very important. First of all, it's picking the right person. I mean, you do that through the series of interviews, and then you pretty get a good idea that this is the person that, you know, hopefully is going to make the effort to learn what this is all about.
Tomorrow, she'll debut on the floor and take her first tables.
Then comes the hard part. You have to meet some get on the floor and see really what they're all about. I mean, it's pretty bang, bang, bang. So
to succeed and to be offered a full-time position, she'll have to master the tiny details of service.
Start getting the section ready here.
Okay.
Good service is both an art and a craft. Laura's learning both right now. The art is the intangible side, the personality of the server, while the craft is the simple things like how to set a table, how to open a bottle of wine. In either case, Laura's got a lot to learn before tomorrow night.
So let's talk about just setting up a classic deuce.
Nothing is arbitrary. There's a logical reason behind every detail. At Canoe, a well-set table includes just what a guest needs to enjoy themselves, and nothing more. No napkin origami, no silverware collection, no clutter.
We're not going to load up the table with cutlery all over the place. As they use cutlery, we'll replace the cutlery so the table stays nice and neat. You'll notice the symbol on the glass. We'll want to put that so it's going towards the guest. So that's kind of our center part. It's all about how things are centering each other. So as we build everything, you'll see how everything, oh, right, it just works.
Good evening, Mr. Smith. How are you?
I wanted a first-hand look at Canoe's training, so I volunteered to be a table dummy, to let Laura try her moves out on me and work her way through Canoe's 100 points of service.
Laura would come over, make some eye contact and smile and take it away with a greeting and maybe a suggestion or two of a drink that we have, some of our feature cocktails.
I was always taught, always show the label to the guests when you're pouring, even when setting it on the table. And I'm sorry, you put things on
We'll just put a plate, make sure that anything on the table is set on something.
There was something about that bottle just sitting there like that. It does seem a little bit out of place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But as soon as you do that, we've elevated it. Now it seems very classy.
Very elegant.
Interesting. In a great restaurant, whether you know it or not, you're constantly being monitored, because the best service happens without you noticing. So when you present the menu, is it presented precisely the way I see it here? Or is it open for me when it's first given to me?
It's set down closed. It's kind of our indication too to know if to when you're ready is when you start looking at the menu. We have a bread service that starts, and this is a signal to the bussers or to whoever's bringing up the bread for you that maybe you're ready to have that on the table as well.
So that literally is a signal. When this menu leaves, now your bussers or your food runners now know that table's ready for bread. These signals will trigger any number of service points. Bread baskets and water glasses magically fill. Silverware and wine glasses appear just as you need them.
Once again, you want to keep the label facing towards both guests.
If it was by the glass, we would probably pour up to the 6-ounce mark that we pour. Notice how Laura's showing the bottle right to the person who ordered it, showing the label, so it just reinforces what you've ordered. I think that's a very key point of taking the service one step at a time. You've chosen your food, but we're going to wait until you make sure that you have the wine that you're going to enjoy with it.
What is Cumbrae Farms or Pingus Niagara? How do you know what all these things are?
Well, this is part of the training. It doesn't serve us right if the kitchen is preparing all these wonderful items and that we don't know about them because we're the liaison to the customer. They're always constantly showing us new items and explaining them at our briefings that we do. And through food tastings, well, whenever there's a menu change, we all get together. The chefs will cook up everything, all that, and we get to taste.
So you're able to say to the guest, "Hey, I've eaten this entire menu.
Absolutely.
I know every single dish on there."
Yeah, I've tried every item.
Which lends credence to you having a favorite. Good service understands human nature. We all crave recognition, status, and attention. The best restaurants deliver all three and more. The craft of service is in the details, but Canoe also excels at the art of service. Their secret weapon, the moment of truth. When a staff member enhances a guest's experience by going above and beyond expectations the guests may not even know they have.
What happened my first week here was amazing. There was a lady had walked in and she'd broken the heel off her shoe. She stayed for lunch. Our manager took care of it. By the time she finished her lunch, the shoe was repaired, and she's on her way without missing a beat. She just could not believe it. Wow, that's what they're left with. They're going home and they say, I can't believe that happened.
Okay, so how are you feeling?
Good. Overwhelmed.
You went through a lot of stuff today, a lot of good things, but a lot of things that we still have to focus on and work on.
Over the past week, Laura's had to cram her head full of hundreds of service details. Tomorrow, it's all on the line for Laura and her guests. This will be the real moment of truth.
3 things, the manual, the menu, and some rest. Because tomorrow we hit the floor, it's customers, it's live, so you're gonna hit the floor running. So we gotta be ready.
There's a lot to know.
Service Mecca.
I went through some of the menu items. I do have some questions and some things about the menu.
That's good.
It's a lot to take in.
You know what the best way?
To succeed, she's had to master a laundry list of details. But what she doesn't know is that there are a few surprises ahead.
I just have just a couple of questions on the menu here. I know cuttlefish is similar to like a squid. What's the biggest difference between?
The big thing is the texture. Very sort of sweet, dairy-like flavor.
Anthony Walsh is a renowned chef, but he understands that the restaurant is not about him. It's about his guests. The servers are on the front line, so he and his kitchen will do anything for them.
It's also known, we call it here, oyster.
Oyster plant.
Just a quick refold that tucks in so it doesn't have any overhang.
I'm a little nervous just because there is so much to know, but everybody's really good on answering my questions.
Excellent. You're leaving it just off the table just a little bit. Perfect. I'm really pulling for Laura. She's been doing a lot of work. I know you can tell that she was doing her homework last night, and so I'm hoping that we're gonna have a great first night. Good indicator that she's gonna be part of the Canoe team real soon.
I'd like you all to make sure you say hello to Laura, welcome her.
Restaurant manager Clifford Snell leads a team meeting just before service.
We've just added the Patina Vineyards wine onto the list today, and if anybody's interested, there's a great article about the winery in the most recent issue of the Wine Spectator.
Everyone's revved up. But before guests start to arrive, Laura takes a moment to absorb details about the new wine. As guests arrive, Laura handles a small section of 4 tables, all under the watchful eye of her trainer, Kevin Detto.
Okay, first table. There you go.
Can I bring the water just in my hand, or do I have to put it on a tray?
No, water's okay to carry in the hand. It goes on the plate if it's on the table, of course, and then I'll watch you see how you pour it at the table.
My buddy Glenn Cowan and I are seated right in the middle of Laura's section.
Would you two care to begin with a cocktail or some ice water, any vanilla water?
Along with Kevin, we'll keep an eye on her to see how she connects with guests and makes their dining experience memorable.
So I can recommend that?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That was great. Suggested the beach cocktail. Talked it up a little bit.
I appreciate her help suggesting something. You know how you sit down and you get this massive menu, you don't know half the stuff on it, you're feeling a little intimidated at first. So when the server steps right up with a good, strong recommendation, you feel like you're right in the loop, everything's going good.
Really starting to roll now. Now we got 2 tables, things are piling up. Are you keeping everything sorted out?
Yes.
Okay.
I really want to get to table 16, though.
Okay, well, let's get over there.
When this table made their reservation, Canoe noted that it was for a birthday and created a special drink just for the occasion.
You see, we created our own canoe cocktail for you.
For table 16, it's tonight's first moment of truth.
Try the caribou.
At my table, Laura arrived just as we were ready to order. Her sense of timing was spot on. Last time I was here, Anthony was doing up these tuna chops.
Oh,
I've been
really?
raving about them ever since. So
That's great.
any fish is going to be good. I just know
Wonderful.
it. So I guess I'll have the crab roll and The BC sablefish.
And the sablefish.
How'd that go?
That went well. That went well. He was talking about last time he was here. He had the tuna chops.
Okay, I caught a little bit of that. It's
Yeah.
getting hard to hear out there. It's getting busy, but that was something we used to have on the menu.
Okay.
So you were already thinking what I was thinking?
Yeah, if we could maybe ask Chef to see if he could do up something like that.
Okay, sounded like he really enjoyed it, so that's perfect. That's something, yeah. Let's see if there's maybe something we can do.
Last time Michael was in, he said that he had his tuna chops, and I was wondering if there's something we can start him off with something like that we used to have. He was raving about them.
So, is that possible? Muse for them?
Yeah.
Do a muse first. I'll get the thing rolling. Be like 20 minutes.
This is Laura's second moment of truth tonight. Kevin's training is paying off.
C2's gonna have the crab roll.
He's having the crab roll?
No.
There we go. See seat number 7. So these are going to end up going to the wrong ones.
I am going to try the Arctic char.
And sorry?
Arctic char.
Sure. Would you like me to leave the one?
You know, I just feel like having like one oyster. That's all I want. You don't want to split. Do you want to split an oyster? Oh, never mind. No, never mind.
Okay. She was mentioning that she has a craving for like one oyster. So
Okay, you know what? That's no problem. You know what? Let's put a little oyster plate together for him. So
Okay.
let's do that as the amuse.
The restaurant's so busy that Kevin's had to pick up a few tables. Suddenly, Laura's on her own.
How you doing? Okay?
Okay, yeah.
I'm running food, so I'll be back in a
Okay.
moment. A couple new tables have arrived. We have a birthday table that's very important. There's been some extra questions, some extra things going on. And because she's not completely used to where everything is in the computer and everything, that comes with time. But we're just trying to keep pace right now and trying to make sure that we're hitting all our marks.
And then that tuna chop I was raving about magically appeared. I was really impressed. This is the dish I was telling you about. It's a tuna chop. Laura's on her game. She's working hard to go above and beyond. It's not even on the menu anymore. It's a great start for Laura. But what will she do when a guest requests a dessert that's not on the menu?
Creme brulee.
We don't. No.
I think I'll have a regular coffee.
I think there might be a bottle open at the bar.
Laura Collier is well into her first night on the floor at Canoe, one of the top tables in the country.
Cheers. Guys, I love you all.
The restaurant is very busy, but she's risen to the challenge. Earlier, when a guest didn't want a full order of oysters, she asked if Chef could put a small plate of oysters together.
Now, I just wanted to start you two off with a little bit of oysters that we had in the back there. Some nice
This is what service is all about at Canoe, exceeding expectations.
Any moment of guest contact is a potential moment of truth. I think that good service or great service takes great food to new limits that can't possibly be realized if the service isn't there. You can have adequate service and amazing food, and it won't be a complete event.
Didn't want a whole order, but this is perfect.
Nicely done.
Caribou, sablefish. You know, good service can make up for bad food every time. But good food will never, ever make up for bad service.
I guess the ideal is having both good food and good service.
Like this.
Keeps you coming back.
Yeah. Ever notice how many different people service your table in a great restaurant? Here, it's the food runner's job to deliver hot plates as soon as the kitchen finishes preparing them.
It's got this black trumpet mushroom vinaigrette that is to die for.
How did you two do with the dessert menu here? Did you see anything sweet you'd like to try?
Creme brulee.
We don't. No.
I think I'll have a regular coffee. I'll have an extra pork or whatever you want.
Okay. I know that Biff's has a creme brulee, and I was just wondering if we could run over to get it for the lady.
Absolutely. This is something you want to do?
Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea to get them what they want. I mean, they obviously really had their heart set on creme brulee.
Yeah.
Now this blew me away. A food runner has been dispatched to a sister restaurant 4 blocks away to fetch a creme brulee, all in the name of service.
Hi, how are you? We're from Canoe to pick up the creme brulee.
Yep.
Here it is. Thank you very much. You're welcome. We have to service the customer. They're our #1 priority, so we want to give them the best possible service we can, and we'll go to these lengths to do it for them.
Oh, fantastic.
A 54-story, 4-block round trip. And that's why it's called a moment of truth. The guest's emotional response says it all.
And we actually ran over to our sister restaurant, Biff's. They make a wonderful creme brulee, so I didn't want you to go without it. Yeah.
She'll tell her friends, and she'll be back. But Laura's not done yet. She still has a birthday girl who didn't order dessert. Here's her present.
She's got what it takes, and I mean, deep down, I really knew that. Right. It was more a case of wanting to see it in action on the big night.
I think it's obvious, sort of right off the bat, that she's got an innate talent to really connect with the guests,
right.
To put them at ease right off the bat, and to let them know that that really she's there for them on the night.
Laura passed with flying colors. She got the job.
For someone who had to learn so much in the last couple of days, I thought you did fantastic.
Thank you. Oh, my pleasure. Anytime. Please enjoy.
From Canoe at the top of Toronto, I'm Michael Smith, your chef at law.